Hi everyone, my name is Omar. I'm one of the intensive care consultants, and I'm just going to be showing you a little bit about the new critical care module in EPR, and just showing you how to admit a patient, how to do the clerking, how to prescribe some things, how to receive referrals, and then hopefully how to do the ward rounds and discharge summaries as well. So this video we're just going to focus primarily on how to receive a referral and how to accept it. So for you to be able to receive a referral, you first have to have access to the critical care MPTL, the multi-patient task list. So I'm just going to start by showing you how to add that to your username. So what you need to do is you need to click on MPTL, and that should bring up this list here. So you've got medical and referrals, and if you click on referrals, if you then click on options and task display, it will show you a list of all the different referral lists that will appear on your username. So at the moment mine's set just to receive referrals to acute theatres because I'm an anaesthetist, but if you search for critical care, you'll see a list of critical care MPTLs, and it's the critical care urgent one you want to be able to receive referrals from the ward and from ED. If you click save, that'll save it to your username, so that MPTL will always appear on your username, and then you can click OK. So now that I've done that, I've now got these referrals, this list of referrals for critical care. So that's how you receive referrals. So I'm just going to show you how the referrals come through. So let's say that we've got this patient, this is a test patient, and this patient is currently in the ED HDU, and the ED doctor wants to refer this patient to critical care. They're going to go through the same referral process that we always have had, which is that they click on requests and care plans. And in the past, the doctor would just ring us and we'd go down and see them, but we need a way of documenting referrals that have occurred. So there's going to be this process now. So if you type in referral to critical care, and the ED doctor is going to click on referral to critical care urgent, and they're going to click OK here, and then done. And then it's going to ask the ED doctor for some basic information about this referral. So this can be from the ward as well, so it might not be ED, it might be acute medicine or cardiology, but let's say it's emergency medicine, and I'm going to just say that I am the referring clinician, and then you just have to click your grade. There's a few of these bits that are essential and a few that aren't. You might want to put in the referral reason. So this patient is hypoxic, so we're going to put respiratory failure, and the critical care consultant contact, so I'm just going to refer to myself. And this is really important. This is, have you contacted a member of the critical care medical team? So this will be essential when it goes live, and they have to be able to click yes, and here they'll write in something along the lines of critical care contacted. And then once they sign that, that will then populate the MPTL. So if I then go back to the multi-patient task list, and if I refresh that, you can see now that a referral has appeared for that patient there. That's the test patient there. So now, as a receiving clinician, either as the consultant or as anyone who's got access to this critical care urgent referral MPTL, when I click on this, it's going to open a form. So this is something that I'll fill in once I've seen the patient and decided what I'm actually going to do with the patient. So if we say that I've seen the patient in ED and I've agreed that the patient needs to come to ICU, I then have to fill in this form. So again, I'm going to be the accepting consultant, so I'll put my name in there, and I've decided that this patient needs critical care admission. You then, if you're going to transfer the patient, you can click transfer here, and you can explain why you're transferring the patient. If it's a clinical transfer, then you can document later on where they're going to and what the clinical needs are, and if it's a non-clinical transfer, you can document here why you're having to transfer the patient. It'll usually be because of bed pressures. In this situation, we're going to admit the patient locally, and then we're going to put in a little bit of information about what the patient is coming in for. There's a few bits here that are arbitrary and rudimentary, such as the level of care. Just click whatever you think the level of care is going to be required. And urgency of admission, really, it doesn't really matter too much as long as it's within 4 hours. And we're going to say that this patient needs respiratory and cardiovascular support. These bits aren't essential, and the comments aren't essential, but let's just say that this is what we're going to be doing. And then once you've accepted the patient, once you're happy that all that information is correct, you can click the green tick here. If you think that the patient doesn't need admission to intensive care, you can click critical care admission not required, and then you can go through all of these bits as well, and you can explain why the patient doesn't need intensive care and what actions you've put into place to ensure that the patient's well looked after, whether that's discussion with the family or ensuring that they've got palliative care or a DNA CPR in place. But we're going to stick with this, that the patient needs admission to intensive care. And we're going to accept the patient. So that patient's been accepted to intensive care now. It doesn't mean that the patient has moved to intensive care. What will happen now is that you need to inform the nurse in charge that the patient's been accepted, and then the nurse in charge will transfer them on Catman so that they then appear physically on the intensive care unit and on EPR on the intensive care unit on the intensive care unit patient list.